Welcome to another Mr. Paul video. In today's video, we're kind of putting two lessons together. We're on 9.5 and 10.3. We're talking about similar and congruent figures. But what does that all mean? Well, we're talking about two shapes this time. And if we're comparing two shapes, we're going to give them characteristics, basically. When we have two shapes that are congruent, what are we actually saying? Well, in math, congruent shapes mean that both shapes are the same. How can you describe that two shapes are the same just by looking at them? Well, it means that they have the same size. They're the same size as each other, and they are the same shape. One's not a triangle, and the other one's not a square. And the movements that you can talk about when dealing with two shapes are translations, rotations, and reflections. Let me demonstrate. Suppose I have two shapes. In this case, I have two blocks, and we're going to ignore for a second that both of these blocks are of different colors. We are going to ask ourselves, are these two shapes have anything in common? Okay, are they the same? Is there no relationship between the two other than they're different colors? So when they have the same size, meaning both of these blocks are 2 by 2s, okay, these are cubes, and they are the same shape, they're both cubes, both of 2 by 2 by 2, we say that these two are congruent. Now, the movement that I'm referring to is suppose that you have one shape as a pre-image and one shape as an image. To achieve a pre-image and then the image afterwards, you can achieve the pre-image by rotating, right? By rotating or by reflecting or translating to get from the pre-image to the image. All of the different types of movement of translations, rotations, reflections, also known as sliding, turning, and flipping, you can achieve the pre-image to the image through any of those type of movements. Okay? That seems a little confusing at first, but it's how you can prove it on paper. Now, what does it mean to be similar? Well, these two shapes are the same other than their color. To be similar, it means the two shapes are almost the same. These are exactly the same. What does it mean to be almost the same? Suppose we had a different block, okay, and it matched up with this block. This smaller block, it has a little nubbin right there. We're going to ignore that for a second. It's a 1 by 1 by 1. This is a 2 by 2 by 2. Is there anything in common between these two shapes? Well, this one is a cube and this one's a cube. This one's dimensions are 1 by 1 by 1. This is 2 by 2 by 2. This is what it means to be similar, almost the same. They have the same shape. This is a cube, but they're different sizes. And the movements categorized with this type of transformation is called a dilation. Dilation is when you make something smaller, or if you were to make something bigger. You'll notice that this is a 3 by 3 by 3, and this would be considered a different type of dilation. This and this and this are all considered dilations of each other. Dilations could go bigger or they can go smaller than the original shape. Okay? Now, remember, the only thing that has to be true when dealing with similar figures is that they are the same shape. All three of these are cubes. Okay? All three of these are cubes. But they do have different sizes. And this is what it means for shapes to be similar. That's all for today's video. Peace.